now. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who have listened to Guessing Lines on the Beating the Book podcast for years and years, you know it's not just about guessing the lines. There's also, because we've gotten through the exercise, story time. And without further ado, my mishbook, Chrissy Andrews, it's time for story time. Breeders' Cup this week, you got a horse racing story.
I got a great horse racing story. And just to let you know, I got to Las Vegas in 1979. I'd never really bet horses at all as a younger guy. But I got here in 79. You know, I was working at the Stardust, you know, all degenerate gamblers back then. They started teaching me how to read the form. And whatever it is, it kind of clicked in my brain. You know, it just, you know, for whatever reason. And I got to be pretty good betting the horses. And so now as I go to Reno and I'm running the Club Calneva. And back then, by the way, it wasn't pari-mutuel for those guys out there who just think that was always like it. You were actually booking the horses. So you had to know a little bit.
Wow.
You know, and it was tough at times. And we had one customer who was like super sharp. And
what year did pari-mutuel hit, by the way?
95 maybe?
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, sorry.
So this now is 1984. So I got to know this one customer who was like a real sharp horse player. And he was one of those guys. Now, he knew how to obviously read the form and all that other stuff, but he also knew like all these angles. You know, he's one of those guys. And if you're going to be a real horse player, you better know like a lot of angles. Now, this is like, you think, you know, baseball has analytics now and stuff. Horse racing is off the charts with analytics. This is like way before then. So this guy, he and I got to be pretty good friends. So at the time, let's see, 84, I'd have been 28. He was probably 50, you know, and he had owned horses and, you know, things like that. So we got, and he started showing me like little tricks to look for, little things. And one of the things that he emphasized is, you know, knowing the winner is great, or who has a chance to win is fantastic. If you know who can't win the race, could be really valuable.
Sometimes just as valuable.
And if you know a favorite can't win the race, then, you know, you should make a score in that race if you know the favorite can't win. So this guy was well connected to the, like a lot of trainers and stuff in Northern California. And like I said, we got to be good friends. And so one day I'm sitting at home, you know, it's the evening time, and he calls me up. He says, "Hey, can you make it to Bay Meadows tomorrow? I think we got something going."
Bay Meadows in the Bay.
Bay Meadows, which isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
He says, "Can you make it to Bay Meadows tomorrow? I think we got something going." Well, as soon as he says that, I know this guy, you know, we got something going. You know, he doesn't.
I'm starting to remember this.
Yeah. So now I says, "Yeah, what tell me what?" He says, "Well," and I don't want to mention the trainer's name. He says, "I got to be close with this one trainer, and like the two kids that work for him, they do all the work. You know, he's got the name and everything else. And he wasn't the leading trainer. I think Hollendorfer was the leading trainer at the time. But this guy was like second or third trainer, somewhere in there. He says, the two kids tell me, he says, there's a pick six carryover of $500,000. And the kids, and a couple times he's told me about, hey, the kids say, like in the 6, the 8-5 shot can't run. You know, something like that. He says, the two kids told me in the first 5 races, the favorite can't win the race. So 5 out of 6, the favorite can't win the race. I says, okay, where do you want me to be? So he tells me like this one restaurant, which I don't know if it's still there, but it was like a great wise guy hangout in San Mateo, which, you know, I have some other stories about that joint too. Anyway, he says, can you be at this place tomorrow at like 11 o'clock? I says, yeah, I could make it. So my wife, this is my first wife, you know, we have a son who's born in June. This is like August, so we have like a 3-month-old son. She packs up the kid because her mother and her stepmother lived in San Jose. Well, so it'd be like her stepfather-in-law was a total horse degenerate himself. So I says, can I bring, you know, Fuzzy was we called him Fuzzy. Can I bring Fuzzy? He says, bring as many guys you want, but we're looking to put together a big ticket. We need to make a big ticket. So we get down there. And so it was, you know, my buddy, the two kids were there, you know, me, Fuzzy, and there's like 2 other guys. Anyway, we put together a $10,000 ticket. I mean, we weren't messing around. You know, a $10,000 ticket. I put in like $1,000, and I'm 28 years old, you know, with a young couple month old kid.
This means a lot.
This is a fortune to me.
Yeah.
This is a fortune. So I put in $1,000, and we put together our ticket, and so like the kid said, the first 5 races, we totally eliminated the favorites. There's 8-5 shots, 5-2, we eliminated them, but pick 6 betting at the time was kind of new. So the strategies, I'm sure, today would be a little bit different. So we singled the horse in the last race. And that was the one the kid said, we like this favorite. We think he should win. 7-5 shot. We single him in the last race. And we figure, well, we get to the last race. If we're still alive, we got a lot of maneuverability to bet any. So anyway, we put together a ticket. We get to the track. Like I said, my buddy's got a box, and we're in the turf club. First horse, right out of the gate, pays $30. 90% of the pick 6 is gone, and we have them. Next race, $20 horse. I keep going. Every horse paid double digits the first 5 races. We have every single one of them.
Wow.
Now, back then, like I said, it was just a lot different. This is 1984. They didn't tell you, who's alive, how many tickets, all that other stuff. But my guy, he was very well connected at Bay Meadows. He calls into the office. And they didn't even tell you what the pick 6 was. You knew what the carryover was coming into it. So he comes back to the table. He tells us, okay, the pick 6 is $750,000, which would probably be double that now, over the $500,000 carryover. Says pick 6 is $750,000. There's 1 ticket remaining, ours. We got 1 ticket.
Wow.
And with consolations and all that, again, I probably gonna make close to $100,000 if we can win this race. We got a 7-5 shot. Now, if guys are out there that know horse racing, this was a race that I'd like to bet there was not one race like this in North America last year. I'm probably wrong. There's probably some little tracks that have this race. And even in 1984, it wasn't very popular condition for a race. $7,500 claimers, which are really total pieces of crap, going 1.25 miles on the dirt. They might do it on the turf once in a while, but on the dirt, $7,500 claimers, you just don't see it, and you rarely saw it back then. You almost, like I said, I'd venture to say you never see it now. So we got the 7-5 shot, and I'll tell you what, if you looked at the form, you said, how could this guy possibly lose? These guys they come out, they're all taped together and everything. I said, okay. So now, me and my buddy, who has paddock privileges and everything, we get a $500 win ticket on our horse. And, just as we hear jockeys up, we get to the jockey, we give him the ticket. And he looks at it, and his eyes go, oh, geez. So we go back up. Now, by this time, my wife and my mother-in-law are back. They joined us, and we're all up in the turf club. We give the guy the $500 ticket, and we're all sitting there. We got to win one more race, $750,000. Like I said, my cut, I keep thinking it was $100,000, but I think it was a little less. I just rounded up in my brain. So gates open. Our jockey takes this horse out.
Oh, no.
He's
oh, no.
He's running fractions.
Oh,
guys who were out there know he went 6 and I'm not joking here. Went 6 furlongs in 112. And
a poor run, if you will.
He was so excited. Whatever the fractions were, he's run. And I remember, I'm looking, and I'm still pretty new at the game, and I'm there.
You knew.
Oh my God. And I looked over at my buddy, and his face was about as white as this sheet of paper. and I lean over to him, and this is 1984, so I remember it really well because I had the winner in the Derby. I looked over and says, he's running faster than Swale did to win the Derby. And he still might not have moved, and I just slumped back in my chair I can't believe it. And my first wife, who's nowhere near like my second wife, Pamela, God love her, she starts getting mad at me. You quit being so negative. Quit being so negative. We're going to win this, And at first I felt like saying, I'm a Greek Jew. Of course I'm negative. It's in my DNA. Have you not been paying attention?
That's right.
And
What do you think I could?
And so here we come. Now you got to remember, everything else is a piece of crap in this race too. We're still, he's out by like 10 lengths on the backstretch. Now he comes in the stretch. You can just see him. He's lugging. And I'm thinking, like, please. Because like I said, everything else is a total piece of crap in this race too. We get right down the last jump. We get nailed at the wire. And it was like, oh my God. We could see it come. But like I said, in that last 50 yards, you're still standing. Hang on.
Yeah,
hang on.
The fact that he gave you late hope.
Yeah, he gave us some late hope, and it was not to be. And so there went. And I always say, you know what? She'd have probably wound up with most of that 100,000 anyway.
That's how you rationalize it.
That's how I rationalize it in my brain. As it was, I probably made a couple thousand because we had a lot of winners.
That's the best part of the story. She probably would have taken.
Probably would have got the 100 anyway. So what the hell?
Oh, that's so good. Here's the thing: so relatable on so many
my
levels.
God! Yeah,
maybe not for that amount, but everyone's been there.
And it was just one of those days, and I still think, and my buddy, you think we made a mistake giving that jockey that 500? Yes, we made a mistake. You have to ask yourself.
Of course we did. That informed his strategy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he just went out and take the lead, and
It's an amazing thing about gambler psychology. Sometimes it's not that you lose; it's what you could have won.
Oh yeah,
that's the worst.
Yeah. That's a life changer.
Ever had a more painful loss than that one? Even though it wasn't for the dollar amount, it's just the fact that you didn't win.
Yeah, that's got to be the most painful loss I think I've ever had. Yeah.
Wow. Story time.
I went over a little bit.
That's okay. We'll come back. Chrissy Andrews. A numbers game, guessing line story time, exclusively right here at VSiN.